Hello, my name is Dr. Scott Carroll, and I've been practicing medicine for 44 years. 38 years ago, I became a member of the Atlanta Allergy and Asthma Clinic in Atlanta, Georgia, and I've been the senior partner for the last 10 years. About 15 years ago, I decided to write a book on nutrition, primarily because they don't teach nutrition in medical school, and I was concerned about the number of my asthmatics who have a high association with obesity and taking medication that maybe they didn't need to take or didn't need to take as much of. After I wrote this book and started my nutritional clinic, my asthmatics started to improve and take less medication. This is when I really became interested in a more natural, holistic approach to medicine. As a sidebar, pharmaceutical medicines has become the fourth leading cause of death in this country. That's staggering. You see these ads on television, and half the ads on drugs are about the side effects. So I became very focused on looking into a more natural approach to medicine. And over the last 15 years, I have begun to formulate some of my own products with some gentlemen that I know who do make pharmaceutical natural products. And it's really opened a completely new world to me. And the patients that I've talked to about this and have been dealing with have been very satisfied and very appreciative of the fact that they can start looking with a different attitude, a different perspective on treating their various conditions with a more natural approach. This led me recently, over the last 2 years, to some new biological research that had been done on a part of our bodies and our chromosomes called telomeres. Now, telomeres were first discovered in 1970, and the Nobel Prize, 3 Americans, incidentally, in 2007, on telomeres and the biology and what they mean. If you think of a chromosome as say a shoelace with a cap on the end, and that cap on the end of the chromosome is called a telomere. No one knew what those were even for a long time, until the science came along to show that these telomeres are very important in the aging process. Every time our cells divide in our body, these telomeres get shorter. At conception, we have 15,000 base units of telomeres. Then when you're born, because the fetus has been dividing so much in utero, you have 10,000. It's lost a third. When these telomeres now throughout your life get down to about 5,000, you're history, because your cells are not going to divide anymore. They can't. So the telomere has become known as our internal biological clock. Along comes a very smart scientist named Bill Andrews. He's a PhD, molecular biologist, geneticist, and when he first heard about this and went to Carroll Laboratories and said, if you guys will hire me, I can find the enzyme that will help preserve the integrity of the telomeres. He did that. He went to work for them, and in a very short period of time, telomerase, the enzyme that gives support to the telomeres and keeps them from shortening as much as they would naturally, was done. Now, about 2 years ago, Dr. Al Sears, MD, in Florida, became the first doctor to be licensed to distribute an all-natural telomerase product that would do exactly what this science was showing. Now, it came from a natural herb. It was not a pharmaceutical product. And this TA65, which it was called, came from the astragalus herb. And when he started giving this to a very elite group of individuals, they began to experience some amazing things. Their vision got better, age spots went away, hair color changed, more energy. In fact, Bill Andrews himself has always run marathons, actually ultra marathons, 50 to 100 miles, and just did that to stay in shape. He found out that when he started taking TA65, that the process of his running changed dramatically. He started winding up in the front of the pack in the end of the races, and he felt as good after the race as he did before the race. His vision has changed after being on TA65. Better, better, better. Now, this is just anecdotal data at this point, but Bill Andrews went on to develop his own telomerase product, and he's done that in his laboratory called Sierra Science Labs in Nevada. And I would suggest that you have a look at his video on sierrasci.com and look at his video and get some of the science explained to you on this product. It's very excellent. I did that. And I've been looking at TA65 for a long time. I don't take TA65, it was too expensive, but I was very impressed by the biology and the quality of the individuals taking it. I mean, these were physicians, both MDs, chiropractors, naturopaths, and even other people, just ordinary people who could afford to take it. Then all of a sudden, it became apparent that there was a new product being developed in the labs by Bill Andrews and another gentleman named John Anderson. John Anderson is a master formulary gentleman who was the founder of a company that's going to come out with this product in August. This product is going to be stronger, more powerful than TA65, according to all their assays that they've been running to show that it's doing more, and it's going to be affordable. This is the part that got my attention because the average person can now afford this product. My wife and I have been taking this product for the last 2 weeks. Too early to tell anything. But the general consensus is that your age is going to slow down. Not only is your age going to slow down, but the cells in your body are going to be continuing to divide, and they're going to do it qualitatively. That means instead of deteriorating like normal aging does, these cells are going to be better cells. They're going to be healthier cells. And so not only are you going to have a quantitative length to your life, but you'll have a qualitative increase to any of the organs in your body that need it. And therefore, if you take this product, you're going to have the best possible way in this world that we know today to live longer and to live healthier. Okay? Yes, antioxidants and omega-3s and resveratrol and all the other things that we're taking to be healthy and that are being propagated by the anti-aging people out there are important. But they're band-aids compared to this internal biological clock. You want to still take those things. You still want to eat right. You want to make sure that the cells in your body have the best nutrition and the best supplements needed so that when the telomeres are continuing to grow and keep your cells growing, it's going to be a quality cell. In other words, don't go out and think you can just take this product and eat whatever you want to and not worry about anything, because that would just defeat the purpose. Then you'd be producing cells that were not healthy. But up until now, there's never been a product ever. This is the biggest biological discovery I've ever seen in my life. And the other doctors that I've talked to and that I'm involved with in this process are extremely excited about this. So what I'm saying to you is that you need to look into this if you're at all interested in a longer, healthier life, period. There are several websites out there that you can look at. I tell you, the thing that really impressed me the most was when Diane Sawyer did a special about 2 months ago on ABC television one night when she showed that the Harvard Cancer Institute had taken mice that were the equivalent of 80 years old. And these mice were given this activator of telomerase. Their hair, which had become balding and gray, again, the balding spots went away, they grew hair, it had a nice sheen to it, just like the younger mice. But the best thing I saw was that their small Alzheimer-sized brains became bigger. And not only did they get bigger, the neurological function of these mice improved. So actually what they did was reverse the age of these mice. They just didn't, it was more than anti-aging. It was, and this is a mammal we're talking about. Now you can't extrapolate the mouse to a human until these human experiments are done. A lot of that's being done now. The kind of clinical evidence to take it to the next level are being done in various parts of the world right now. That's the other thing that I really like about this product, is that it's caught the attention of all the scientists around the world. It's the hottest product, hottest subject matter in the field of biology right now. And it's being studied, and the clinical studies to verify what this actually does are being done. You can actually measure your telomeres now. There's a doctor in Spain, and she has developed an extremely accurate, reproducible way of measuring the length of your telomeres. So if you know the length of your telomeres, and you let's, for example, some of the studies that will be done, well, they'll take people and do what they call a double-blind study. They'll give half the people a placebo and half the people the product B, that is the product being made that will be released in August. And they will measure the telomeres before, and they'll measure them for a period of time after. And when that study comes out, it will show that the telomeres of the people taking the product B are going to have reduced in size a whole lot less than the normal aging process on the other side. That, in essence, is the type of experiments that will be done. They'll measure also what's happening to people clinically. They'll measure their pulmonary functions, their heart rate. They're going to measure all the physiologic things that take place in people, and show that the clinical response is also paralleling the telomeres that aren't shortening as fast as they would in normal aging process. Now, in closing, obviously the person who sent you to this website, is it a website?
No, it's just we're going to send them. We're sending them email video. Okay. Yeah, they'll be able to access the video.
Now, in closing, obviously the person who gave you this information and sent you to this site cares about you. And if you are impressed with the biology and what this product can do, then I would say get back to that person and let them tell you more about the product, the science about it, and more importantly, how this product can be obtained.